Alex Hormozy once said this thing where he says, you don't get confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but through undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. I think he said this on Chris Williams' podcast. He was like, outwork your self-doubt. And I think the best way to outwork your self-doubt is to get jacked, right? And hear me out. You know, you can say all these affirmations to yourself. You can listen to the feel-good videos that tell you, yeah, you're the prize, you're him, all this stuff. You can tell yourself you're him. You can look in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm him, I'm him, I'm him, 1,000 times, right? And sure, you might feel a little bit confident, whatever, for in the moment, but when shit hits the fan, you're back where you started, right? And don't get me wrong, I do think there is a level of truth to affirmations and positive self-talk. I think all of that is great, but I think it's only half of the equation we're trying to solve for here, right? The other half of the equation is you need undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. And the best way to prove that undeniable proof is to get on Bodygame, get jacked, right? And when I'm talking about getting jacked, I'm not saying you got to be like a Sam Sulek. I'm not saying you got to be a Ronnie Coleman. No one's saying that here. All I'm saying is you just have to get around 15% body fat, under, or even like in between a range of like 12 to 18% body fat. If you can just do that and maintain a decent amount of muscle size to you, that's more than enough. It's undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Because when you're able to show up to the gym 3 to 4 times, 6 times a week, right? You show to yourself subconsciously that, you know, you're a disciplined person. You're someone who takes themselves seriously, for one. You're able to be consistent at something. You're able to make a transformation because there's proof of that transformation. And that begins to send a feedback loop to, okay, I actually am I actually am the guy that I say I am. And that gives you confidence, because confidence is just proof of something working. It's proof that you've done something, right? And the key to recreating yourself and feeling more confident about yourself is to recreate your habits, right? Change your habits. Do what you say you were going to do. And that is when you become a different person, right? And the easiest way to recreate yourself is to hop on Bodygame, because when you make that night and day difference from skinny to jacked, obese to jacked, you're a different person, right? When I made that transformation from skinny to jacked, I became a different person. Nobody saw me the same way. I felt differently. I walked differently. I talked differently. I just moved differently, because now I can finally look in the mirror and say, I'm him, because I proved it to myself, because I was consistent. I earned it. I was disciplined, right? And if you want that same transformation, hit that link in the description. I'm the guy for that. We'll see if it makes sense to work together, right? Little shameless plug for those of you guys that need it, because I know a lot of you guys need this shit, right? So if you need help building your body, your mindset, things of that nature, hit that link in the description and we'll see if it makes sense to work together, right? Make sure you subscribe while you're at it too. If you haven't subscribed already and you've been watching these videos, that's crazy, bro. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But like I was saying, like, confidence, it comes from doing the work, right? For example, like with my own life, with driving, right? Like, I used to be scared of driving. I used to be afraid. I used to be afraid of going on highways. I used to be afraid, right? But it wasn't until I actually, like, I used to listen to like affirmations for driving stuff before I would take driving tests and all that, things of that nature, right? But it wasn't until I actually got on the road and actually faced the fear of driving was when I actually wasn't afraid, and I became more confident on the road, right? See, affirmations is the first half of the puzzle. The affirmations give you that jolt, give you that courage to make the jump, make the leap, right? But it isn't until you make the leap is when you actually gain confidence. Because why? Because once you make the leap, then you actually realize that, okay, I made the leap and I survived. Therefore, there is proof, there's evidence that I can do it again, right? Just like how I gained confidence with driving, because I actually put myself in a situation that was uncomfortable and I survived. It's like, okay, I can do it again. And it's the same thing with your physique, right? You put yourself in a situation where you're pushing yourself in the gym. You're pushing yourself past your limits. You're building muscle. You're transforming your body through sheer will and force, and you survive through that journey. You become a different person. Okay, that's evidence that you survived and you can do it again, right? It's evidence that you showed up to a place over and over and over again and you can do it again, right? Because affirmations and action are two sides of the same coin. You need both, right? Because without the affirmation side, don't get me wrong, you might develop an imposter syndrome where, you know, you're doing the action, you're doing the things, but it's this weird thing where you kind of have this weird imposter syndrome where you don't feel like you're actually that guy, even though you are that guy, right? But then if you take away the action component and you only have affirmation, you only have positive self-talk, it almost becomes delusion, and you start to not really believe in yourself because you're like, well, I say this about myself, but I don't actually do it. There's no action backing it. There's no proof, right? So both of these things need each other in order for you to be a flourishing human being, right? And and to end it off, I really believe that, you know, you won't get confidence until you get jacked, because it's like, until you get jacked, until you're able to make that transformation, you're not going to be able to hold yourself to a higher standard. You're not going to have that true confidence to where it's like, I know who I am because I do it. I do this shit. I'm him. I'm able to be consistent. I'm disciplined, because it actually sets you apart from everybody else. Once you understand how rare it is, how rare you become when you get in shape, you start to think of yourself on a higher level. And this might sound kind of cocky. It might sound kind of arrogant. It might sound kind of egotistical, but it's like, bro, who else is doing this shit, man? Like, look around, right? When people start coming up to you asking you, like, what's your workout routine? People start like, shit, there was a dude I met the other day. He's like, bro, I'll give you a free gym membership if you send me your workout routine. I'm like, bet. You see what I'm saying? It just unlocks opportunities for you. And once you start to get this positive reinforcement, because you've built in the proof that the world starts to reward you for your hard work, you're going to start to see the fruit of your labor. You're going to be like, okay, there's evidence here. And I am who I say I am. I put in the work. I deserve this because I earned it. I'm disciplined, right? That's what getting jacked body game is about, right? But that's really all I had to say for today, man. If you need help building the physique that commands attention, if you need help getting on Bodygame, hit the link in the description. I'm the guy for that. We'll see if it makes sense to work together. Let me know what you think down below, and send this to someone who needs to hear it. And remember, there's nothing enlightening about playing small. Catch you guys next video.